welcome to Let's Taco About It. I'm already giggling because I thought we were live and I was like, where is everyone? And I forgot to press the go live button. So I have my special guest here tonight for my second Let's Taco About It. And here's Kirsten. Hey.
Hi.
So I'm in Jacksonville at Aiden's house. So some of you may notice the different background. And Kirsten's at home in Norman Beach. So thank you everyone for jumping on. As my eyes get worse and worse, I can't even. I'm so good to see all of you ladies, you scrappy ladies in the chat. And yes, thank you for sharing. Because we're going to be going over a lot of fun stuff tonight. Not only are we going to be learning a little bit more about Kirsten, and I know she is no stranger to most of you who are watching right now, but she's going to get to share a little bit about the Cannonballs for Cane Foundation. And so by you sharing this video, we're definitely going to be able to reach people maybe that don't know anything about a foundation that I know is near and dear to all of your scrappy little hearts. So I want to start off like I did the last Let's Taco About It when I interviewed Trish in Canada, and just talk a little bit about how Kirsten and I met. And then we're just you can ask questions in the chat, and then we're gonna ask her about her scrappiness. But Kirsten and I met through swimming. Keegan and Kane both swam with April. And so Kirsten and I were not only swim moms, but also officials. And so Kirsten was the grand poobah official. She's what they call in the swimming world the deck ref. So she kept everything calm, which I know is not a surprise to y'all because she has a very calming temperament. And as you can imagine, even if you're not in the swimming world, things can get a little tense on the pool deck. And Brendan and I both worked behind the scenes, like with the timing equipment. We weren't even on the pool deck. So many a hot, sweaty days we've spent together on the pool deck before we brought her into the scrappy fam. But she is definitely not new to scrapbooking. So why don't you start by just telling us a little bit about how you started scrapbooking?
Sure, I will. Thanks for having me today. So I, probably got into scrapbooking 25 years ago, maybe, when some moms were scrapbooking their kids' first book. And I remember talking to my mom about it. And I said, hey, Mom, have you ever put anything like besides for just doing an album? And she said, oh, yeah, I did your baby book once. And there was a few pictures in that with mostly just writing. And so I said, well, find it for me. I want to see it. And so she found it. And the next time we visited, there was probably 3 pictures and 25 pages of her journaling. And
Wow.
I thought it was awesome because, back then in the 70s, she did what she could to get the photos that she liked and, and kept those memories alive. But then as we fast forwarded, and that was back when I think Creative Memories was just kind of getting rolling, and I lived in Kentucky at the time. So there was some ladies that were Creative Memories consultants, and we would go over to their house on Friday night and just have a scrapbook party and get work done. And we'd have fun too, and just, get to know each other better. And I did the first album that I ever did was Keegan's, my older son's first year book. So when he was born, and then, kind of plotted it out. it's really thick. It's, humongous and all, fat with all the cards in it and every bracelet and everything. And then poor Kane 2 years later got, a similar book, but maybe not quite so thick. And then I raised children for a long time and didn't do any scrapbooking. But it was definitely my mom. My mom also scrapbooked, the grandkids, and she went back and did some things, to kind of commemorate her life. And so I know we'll talk a little bit more, but my mom had breast cancer. So I'm a big advocate, like, go get your mammies checked and everything. She lived with breast cancer for 5 years, but she scrapbooked a lot in those 5 years. And she also started making jewelry then. And I got into like beaded jewelry and making mother's bracelets and grandmothers and nanas and things like that with her. That was really fun.
That's awesome. So you've always been a crafty type, and I know that a lot of the ladies on here that are friends with you on Facebook see your cross stitch creations and follow along with your progress on those projects too.
That's true. That's true. I think once the kids got out of the house and we started to kind of have a little more free time, I guess, or discretionary time, I was able to pick some things back up, projects that I had left sitting in the drawer or, bagged up for many, many years. Now I've been working on a couple of stitch alongs. So some of the groups have free designs online that are kind of left up to interpretation, and you can pick your own colors, and they just give you the pattern and then you follow along. It's similar to scrapbooking, right? Creative design, off-roading, whatever you want to call it. And I've enjoyed that. As one of them is a monthly release, and it takes a little bit of time. It's probably a little slower going than the scrapbooking, but it's very therapeutic just to sit and have something to concentrate on and kind of unwind for the evening. I usually do it in the evening time.
Well, what's nice about that too is, right, it's just one little project.
Yes.
You don't have to like pull out tons of paper and punches, which is why the retreats are so great for scrapbooking, because as many of you all watching know, sometimes we don't pull that stuff out in between events. And so it's nice to have those multi-day events when you can make a big giant mess. But I see a lot of our scrappy friends, like I know Marianne, like she crochets a ton, and of course several ladies do the diamond dots. And so I find that lots of you ladies are not just scrappy. You're just crafty. You're just a crafty bunch, creative, crafty bunch. So what scrapbooks are you working on now?
Right now, so I've started to get into digital scrapbooking a little bit more. I do have some traditional things. I still like to work with my hands a lot, obviously, if we're talking about cross stitch. But I like to do the 8x8 like board books, and this is one of them. I did this one. This is my son Keegan and his fiance at the time when they did their engagement photos, and you helped me with this book. I didn't bring the other one in. Oh, I do have it. Hold on.
Oh, you're pulling a Tara. Hold, please.
Hold on. I'll be right back. I can't believe I didn't bring it in.
While Kirsten's away, I got to go to the VFW last night and say thank you to them. They had their annual meeting, and so, or not annual, monthly meeting, their regularly scheduled meeting. So I just went and I just said thank you. I just said I wanted to come here to the membership and just say thank you for allowing us to make a mess out of this room every so often. And so it was great. All right, back over to you, Kirsten.
So back to me. So this is what I'm working on right now. My son and daughter-in-law got married in 2020. And so all of the photographs don't really go into like your traditional album. So I had done a traditional album, printed off the photos, all that, and then did that and gave that to them for their anniversary, their first year anniversary. But then with the thousands of photos that the photographer took, I wanted to make sure that she had another keepsake. So now I've started, this is the first volume, but this has all of the ladies getting ready. So I don't know, I'll kind of open it up, but it has like some of the still photographs. And then now that I have the template, I can do the guy's book and so on. So it's another way to keep the digital photos in front of you. They have so many photos. I'll probably end up with about 9 volumes.
Yeah.
Or she will, I will, and her mother will. But it's enjoyable. Sometimes I can get a book done in a weekend at a retreat, and that's really satisfying for sure.
Well, that's what's nice about the digital. I think probably most everyone watching are predominantly paper, but the digital is so nice that you can make multiple copies. And so, like you said, you can just print, you can do the work once and then print 3 copies. And that's
exactly
so nice.
I do have to laugh. I'm going to show you guys you'll appreciate the creative memories baby book, purple and green colors from way back, and you can see how thick it is.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Look, there it is, a scrapbook.
And it's for real. It's for real. I actually did it.
Yeah, and you finished a book. I forget, what book was it that you finished in the mountains in 2020, the retreat to the mountains? I feel like you brought a couple projects that just needed a couple pages done.
I did. I finished my I think I finished my 10-year anniversary album. I think I either brought that or I might have brought my wedding album, because I had the photographer's wedding album, but then I think I finished my I finished both of those, the 10-year anniversary and then our wedding album.
That's awesome. Well, I always find when I had the idea to do this, let's talk about it. I just wanted, it's so funny, me as the consultant advisor, whatever, I'm an advisor now, we used to be consultant. People always think that they can like scare me with how like far behind they are, or, you know, I don't know how many projects they have unfinished. They're like, oh, you don't want to see my mess. I have 47 albums that are started but not finished. And I always say to them, I was like, listen, I host retreats with rooms full of people just like you. I mean, we're all in the same boat. So I thought, rather than just take my word for it, it's nice to hear it from someone else that, yeah, it's okay. Like, we've got unfinished projects. We spin off and we do other crafty things, and that's life. And we go through different seasons and we pick things up and put things down, and that's okay. So I hope those of you watching find that validating or affirming that you're not just out there alone with unfinished projects. Even I, have lots of unfinished projects. Because I need to find time myself, to work on them. Yeah. Well, I know that I would like to spend the rest of the time talking about cannonballs, unless there's something else you want to talk about crafty before we go. And I know everyone is just on the edge of their seat. Even Kirsten does not know what we raised, although the membership at the VFW does know, because I told them last night. Let me see. I'm gonna
Stacy's comment by Scraptual. That's what we call when you do virtual or you do the digital and the traditional scrapbooking. I am definitely that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to attempt to do something here. This is scary. I'm gonna just pull up. Do you have all these? Where is it? Okay, I'm just gonna plop up the. I'm gonna plop up the photo without me blocking the without me blocking the price.
With
So
your avatar under over the amount.
yes,
I love that.
All right, so this is what we did this weekend. Nearly $3,500.
That is incredible.
I know. I was. You guys, all of you, can just continue to blow me away with your generosity. And if I was like looking back at group pictures, we did our first crop for gray and gold in October of 2018, and that was when Kane was still with us.
Not in 18, in 17.
I mean 2017.
Yeah.
And so if we've just like from we were psyched with $850.
Oh yeah.
That's how much we did. And so now to do, nearly $3,500 over 2 days is just amazing.
It is. It makes me cry. I can't, it's hard to find the words to say thank you. I mean, I know that we are ever grateful for all of the friendships formed and just the support over the years. And every time it just gets stronger. I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels like the bonds and the connections and all of that just gets stronger each and every time that we're together, that we learn more about it, one another. And I feel like that when I'm with you at our retreats and at the crops, we just, I don't know, I'm able to be myself. I don't have to hide anything. I'm not trying to be somebody that, isn't real, or like I don't have to put on a face. I guess that's the best way to describe it. That's what I love about this group. It's what I love about just being present. My first year of scrapbooking, like with the group, I think I sat in the corner. Well, I didn't sit in the corner. Actually, Tara had me sitting right next to her. And I felt like there was this little cocoon around me. And it enabled me to be part of the group, but on my terms. And sometimes I didn't do anything. Sometimes I just kind of like slinked off into the room for a while, but it was awesome. And so to watch it grow, even just in the short period of time, I feel like that I've been part of the group and watched it, like it's just exponentially kind of the word is getting out, the awareness is happening, and it's really great. I want to share with everybody too that there was a special reason why Tara picked today for our talk about it. And it's because May 17th is Dipg Awareness Day. So not only is May Brain Tumor Awareness Month, Brain Cancer Awareness Month, it's also Dipg Awareness Day. So there is a large group of ladies that are in Washington, and men, dads, dads and moms too. Lots of advocates in Washington right now, working to get the House Resolution 404 passed so that we can have a nationally designated day for fundraising and other activities, like many other organizations and entities and causes have. So today's a special day for that reason. And then just the things that we're able to do with the money. So what a lot of people don't know, unless they've been with us for a while, is that we do support families in financial distress. So we provide for grants of $1,000 for a family. They're one-time grants, and they're to be used for transportation, food and meals. Sometimes it's because the child's never been on a vacation, or wants a special toy, or wants to do a special activity, and maybe they don't have the funds to do that. We also fund research and patient care facilities. So you can learn more about it on our website at cannonballs.org. But we're just doing some exciting things. I don't know how much you want me to talk about, Tara, or I could go on and on. I can tell you about DIPG. I can tell you some symptoms, signs to look for, brain tumor wise, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to open up. I just opened up Cannonball. So let me share the website. So for those of you, I usually include a link to cannonballs.org, but maybe you just haven't actually gone there. And there's something certainly you can share with, friends and family even that ask, especially when they say, what did you do last weekend? And you say, oh, well, I went to a crop that fundraised for, the Cannonballs for Cane Foundation. And so it's real easy to remember, cannonballs.org. And so right on the front screen, there's pictures of Kane and Keegan and Kirsten and Curtis. And then there's quick links at the bottom. And some of you had the pleasure of meeting Dementor the Moose, Kane's dog. And if you didn't get a golden gray tumbler at the crop, you can do that at that link there. And then you can click on Kane's story, and there's, his story is all right here. And you can learn more about Kane and the foundation that he started at just 17. And if you haven't seen the videos before, then I would also encourage you to, and Kirsten mentioned these at the crop, to go onto the video, the news page, and there's the videos link. And there are just links to all the YouTube videos that Kane did throughout his journey. So Kirsten, whatever this time is yours. Whatever you wanna share is.
I'll just share a couple of updates about the foundation, okay. And if folks have questions, certainly put them in the comments. We'll answer them. Some of you heard me talk about the partnership that we have with the DIPG Nurse Navigator program. So we're pleased to launch with the Chad Tough Defeat DIPG organization and several other foundations like ours, size-wise, to be part of this new program where newly diagnosed DIPG families can call a hotline and talk with a real live person who is well versed in the DIPG, DMG world. DIPG, for those of you that don't know too, is diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma. It's a brainstem tumor and very aggressive, very poor prognosis. Most patients that are diagnosed don't live out their full year. However, we are seeing some good benefit from some of the programs that we have been sponsoring and part of over the last couple of years. So we are seeing some of the patients have benefit to the CAR T-cell program out at Stanford and other onc 201, and there's a new onc pharmaceuticals release coming soon. So there's more going to be announced later this week through our Facebook page and our Instagram. I wanted to share just a little bit about maybe Cain and, you know, some of who he was and his connection as well. So you'll see on our website, like a lot of the purple and gold LSU colors, and Keegan, my older son, transferred to LSU and went there and swam for them. When Cain was diagnosed, he was a senior in high school, and he had just finished up swimming, the swimming program, or I guess swimming, it wasn't really he was wanting to have it be his career, but he was diagnosed right after the season was finished for high school. And he went on to graduate from high school from Spruce Creek High in Port Orange, Florida, with honors. And then he got into his dream school, which was Louisiana State University. And he was able to go there after he had completed 2 different clinical trials. So he had radiation, which is still considered the standard of care. And it is a clinical trial, although that has been the standard of care for the last 40 years and hasn't changed. He did a drug study out of Cincinnati Children's Hospital that was about 3 months before he showed signs of progression. And then he had another round of chemo. So he had the max radiation. The max radiation at diagnosis, and then again, max radiation for the parts that had grown and progressed that summer. And then he had some necrosis from that, but then kind of failed attempts at keeping it at bay. And my favorite line is when he said, "Forget it. I'm going to college. I want to be just like my friends, and I want to go to school, and I want to learn new things, and I want to meet new people." And so it was so awesome that LSU just really stepped up. The swim coach there stepped up, and we made it happen for him. They really made it happen and made it a special time for him. He got to go to 2 football games. He got to meet Mike the Tiger. It was just really awesome. And so when you learn about his story, he wanted the whole world to know what DIPG is, and how to help get it cured, honestly. He has donated his tumor tissue to science, and his tumor tissue is used in many of the studies that we help fund. And he's still making a difference. He's still inspiring people. We get notices. I get comments on his social media. We get donations from around the world to, further the cause. We get inquiries to help other families when they're newly diagnosed navigate this terrible, watery situation. It's like being in an ocean with a rowboat instead of a ship, and we just try to help as much as we can. And that was what he would have wanted us to do. I always say he was a pretty amazing kid, and I'm not saying that because I'm his mom. He just he was that kind of person. And he was put here on earth for a reason. And we just thank God every day that we had the opportunity to be blessed by his life and who he was. So yeah. I could talk about him all day, but I won't.
He was amazing, and I'm not his mama, and I can say that too. Yeah. Did you see, I know you talked about LSU. I'm not sure if while you were talking, if you saw the comments, how LSU got involved with cannonballs, but I think you covered that. But
yeah, they did do a fundraiser with us that fall, and Cain lettered. He got his letterman's jacket, and they had a see you later party for him before he came home to be with Jesus. So yeah, they've been great.
And he got his white coat.
He got his veterinarian coat. He wanted to be a veterinarian. He would have been graduating from vet school, It was a 5-year program at their college if you go in as an undergrad. 5 or 6 years, I think, and some of the other students that were with him were graduating now. And then we have a scholarship at LSU in his name for new students coming in as freshmen into the veterinary bachelor's program, who also has either swimming experience in there's some rules around it, but anyway, just suffice it to say that we have a scholarship for new students coming into LSU that's fully funded now too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's amazing how his story does continue to inspire, but not only inspire, but like with the research continue to help all of those advancements that are coming. And it's so cool for us to just, stand alongside you and get the updates and hear how it goes and just throw as much money and that we can at it.
Yeah.
Personally, individually, corporately, and also just, give you a hug.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'll share with you guys. So, little tidbit, I'm in Kane's old room. So those of you that know me know that I revised some of the things in here, but not everything in here. So let me see if I can Scoop, can you see all of his stuffed animals up there? That's a sneak peek into my world. And then, of course, my favorite photo in the background there is one of that our friend Chris took. I swear his blue eyes are like just crystal clear. Blue eyes like the ocean, but that's one of my favorites. And yeah, there's lots of other little things around that are LSU and just make me feel good. Makes me feel good to be in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Motivating.
That's awesome. Does anyone have any questions for Kirsten about the foundation or anything else?
Oh, Carol's crying. Oh, I know. My eyes have been leaking the whole time I've been talking. It's not just a piece of dust in my eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bittersweet. We really, our family just loves each and every one of you that support us and support these kids. Every new diagnosis, share them with me. Let me know if you have any family members or friends that run into an issue or need help or just want a shoulder to cry on or talk to. I'm here. I help a lot of people through, those initial stages, and sometimes the unfortunate decisions that have to be made towards the end stages. We've experienced that, and Kane was his own driver, but those things are still really tough to navigate. And I've enjoyed getting to do the books. Like Tara helped me do our trip to Alaska, and I want to do an LSU book. It's just been a little too painful, so I keep putting that aside. But I'll get back to it. Like those whips that we have, those works in progress. I'll get there.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking the time to share with us a little bit more in depth. I know you've gotten to share with one-on-one or in small groups at retreats and whatnot. And of course, when you get up and share in front of the group. But this is a little different format. And like I said at the beginning, if you all are just coming on now, or maybe you came in late, I mean, if sharing a Tuesday live was ever, important, I feel like this is the one to share, because we'll be able to reach people that haven't heard Kane's story and Kirsten's story and haven't heard about cannonballs. And I posted just those little facts, the Brain Cancer Awareness Month facts, and it's not as rare as you think. And of course, it feels really close because we know Kirsten, and so it feels really close. But there's so many different types, and there's so many kids every year that are diagnosed, and that's just kids. This statistic I have is 4,600 children. Adults too.
Right.
In the same year, in 2017, when King got his angel wings, my father-in-law almost also succumbed to a brain cancer. And that was one of the most interesting conversations that I've had with Kane. He was so just willing to share. And I said that, my father-in-law didn't want to have treatment, and he asked the size of the tumor and said, yeah, well, I can understand, but it was an incredible conversation. He just had I think he gets that from his mama. He has such a way, he had such a calming spirit. And yeah, he definitely got that from his mama.
Yeah. He'd say, like, you never know what someone's going through, right? So you have to just kind of meet them where they are. He was a good listener. He was a good friend. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those of you that missed it too, we raised just shy of $3,500. Amazing this weekend. But when I said thank you to the post last night, I added up just the amount we've donated since January 2021. So you scrappy ladies, we have had 5 events at the VFW in Port Orange. So this is not even counting Westminster and Warner. We did an event at Warner. So this isn't even counting those. Just the 5 events we did at VFW in Port Orange. We have raised $10,802. $3,000 of that, $3,007 for the post, and $7,795 for Cannonballs for Kane. Mm-hmm. And that's it, just in 16 months. So I thanked the post for allowing us to have events there so that we could do that for them and do that for Cannonballs, and to share what we have with other families and that are affected by DIPG. And it's amazing. Y'all are amazing. So that's it. This is a very emotional taco.
No, it wasn't meant to be a crying session at all, right?
No. But
it's joy. It really is joy. It's bringing joy to other people through your donations and collective togetherness. And Tara gives us the forum to do that. She gives us the places, and she organizes so many things behind the scenes that we don't even think about. And I feel blessed to have her as my friend. I know all of the people on this call and Zoom. It's not even a Zoom, but just the Facebook Live. We all appreciate everything that you do for us individually and collectively.
Oh, you guys are awesome. So with that, I'll turn you guys loose. Now you can share, and don't forget to comment shared in the comments, and I will pick a winner tonight at 10 p.m. So I'm in Jacksonville right now with my mom to go to Casting Crowns concert. So I don't, depending on how late the concert goes, my drawing may be a little bit, it'll be a little bit later than that. But thank you all for being as awesome as you are, for jumping on board to anything I throw out there in front of you. You know, stay tuned for Retreat to the Farm. Is Crystal on here?
Crystal has big news too.
Yeah, she sure does.
Check it out. Yeah.
That's exciting. So, well, you all have a wonderful night. And until we see you again, you guys know what to do. You stay scrappy. All right. Take care, everyone. Good night.